Hey guys, so welcome to a new video. So I figured I want to start doing some random weigh-ins for you guys. I really want to do this for the people who enjoy this type of content, but it's mainly for me. It's very like diary form, but everyone is seeing it through video. I just want to document this part of my life. Like, how am I gonna document my weight loss surgery journey, but not talk about the foods I'm eating or my weight? I think that's counterproductive because that's like the whole point is changing the way I eat so I can lose weight to save my life. So I want to share that with you guys. So I'm not going to have any like schedule. I'm not going to say, okay, I'm going to do a weigh-in once a week for you guys on this day. No, I'm just going to throw them up for you guys anytime that I want to just like talk about how I'm doing, share my weight, whether it's a gain or a loss. So I like how my past weigh-in videos would go, where I would talk about like how I'm doing, and then I would have you guys ask me some weight related questions. It really helps with like topic ideas because I don't want these videos to just be like, hi, today is my weight and I'm doing good. Bye. I want to go a little bit more into things, into topics, talk about things. And who better to ask than the audience watching me of what kinds of things do you want to know about my weight loss journey or things that I'm going through? So we're definitely going to start with that. I went through a phase where I did 3 questions per video, then I did 5. I feel like that's a lot. It's a lot of like long-winded. So I think I'm just going to stick to 3. So here they are. So the first one is, does the people at your weight loss surgery clinic where you're getting your weight loss surgery done know about your YouTube channel? So yes, they do know about my YouTube channel. They have watched my videos. So it's just something that is out in the open. It's like a really big part of my life. So yes, they do know. Second question is, will you continue therapy after the 12 required sessions? Yes, 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 yes. Big fat yes. So I feel like therapy before the surgery is just like the beginning stages. I'm just like tipping my toes in the lake. You know what I'm saying? But then after surgery is when the real deal, like, I'm not saying the therapy now isn't the real deal. You know what I mean? Things are going to be hard after surgery. I can't rely on food for comfort anymore. So it's like, I'm going to need therapy. I'm going to need to talk about my feelings and what I'm going through. Instead of turning to food or wanting to turn to food, I'm going to be like, yes, I have that therapy appointment this week. I can't wait to talk to my therapist, blah, 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 blah. So yes, that's very, very important to me that I continue therapy before and after weight loss surgery. So the last question, when did you first start turning to food for comfort? This started at a very, very, very young age. I have always been bigger than I was supposed to be, even as a toddler. I wasn't like massive as a toddler. I was a little cutie, okay? So here are some photos if you want to see. But I was, a little chunky. I wasn't skinny by no means, but I had a few extra pounds. I had a few extra pounds going on. And I just remember so well, like, especially when I was like 7, people just telling me, oh, this is just baby weight. She's gonna be fine. It's something that stuck with me for a while. And then once I hit puberty, it was like, oh, don't worry. Once you hit puberty and now that you have, things are going to start evening out and you're going to lose weight and all this stuff. Nope, never happened. So I grew up with a hard childhood. I mean, it's obvious. I was put into foster care. You don't get put into foster care for nothing. I don't have trauma for nothing. Like, I went through a lot. Things that I don't talk about, probably won't talk about on here. And I just always felt myself eating more than I should have, eating when it wasn't time to eat, eating when no one else was eating. I was eating adult portions at like a young age, 8, 9 years old. And I never really understood why I was doing those things until I got a little bit older. The first time that I ever processed, like, there's an issue here. I couldn't like process too hard because as a 10-year-old, like, what are you really going to process? It was when I did Girl Scouts and I ate a whole box of cookies in my closet. I was in an all-girls group home at the time, and I was supposed to give the Girl Scout cookies over to the person who bought them, but I was 10 years old, crying in my closet, eating all of them. It was actually like a cookie peanut butter brittle. I don't even remember exactly what it was called, but this was 22 years ago. Wow. You know, every day I forget how old I am until I start talking to you guys. It's where there's a lot of things that I forget in my past. A lot. So many memories blocked. And it's scary because it's like, what am I forgetting? But there are, you know, some things, some trauma that I do remember, of course. And I remember the way I felt eating those cookies. I remember why I was doing it. I missed my parents a lot. I remember I hadn't seen them in a while. I didn't know where my brother was. And because we were separated at that point, because I went to the group home, and I felt scared. I was terrified. And I felt like no one understood. I was lonely. And that's the only thing I knew to do to like numb that feeling, those feelings and those thoughts, was to eat. So teaching myself to do that at such a young age, no matter what I did, I couldn't unlearn it. But now is my chance. That's why I'm taking advantage of therapy, and I'm just so excited for it. I'm so freaking excited. You guys have no idea. Okay, so now that we are done with the 3 questions, I do want to get into my weight. So there has been a lot of conspiracy that I am 600 pounds. This has been going on for over 6 years on my channel now. Always thinking I'm over 600 pounds. I've never been over 600 pounds. Still not 600 pounds. So there was a new scale that I bought that I started using. You guys actually saw that. And when I first got it, it was only like 2 to 3 pounds different from the scale that I was using before. It actually made me 2 to 3 pounds heavier, and I was totally fine with that. I was like, it's cool. Then there was like 2 weeks where I did not weigh myself at all. And I stepped on the scale and it said I was down like 30 pounds. I was like, I'm doing the damn thing. It was inaccurate. It was inaccurate. Unfortunately, that scale, it weighs Feline right on point. Right on point with our other scale too. So the whole time I thought I was a certain weight, but I wasn't. So I went to my trusty scale that I stopped using because of my ankle, but my ankle is completely healed, doesn't hurt ever. It's totally fine. It's just the scale is a higher platform, and it does do this little thing because it's on this little, I'll have to show you guys in a video or something. The scale is actually meant for like car parts. I bought this years ago. It was super expensive, but it's the most accurate scale. It's never faltered, and I've had it for years, but it was hurting my ankle when I was getting on it, but it doesn't anymore. So I'm going back to that. So when I stepped on the scale and I saw that other scale was inaccurate, my heart dropped. I was very upset with myself. My dietitian does know my weight, and she knows my accurate weight, which is the one that you're about to know. I'm very let down, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to be following my dietitian's rules, you know, doing everything that she wants me to do, like food wise. So I'm really excited for that to start showing up on the scale. But here's my weigh-in for today. I did take a picture for you guys, 523.6. And it's sad because I did think I was back in the 400s, but I am okay. I am so okay with this. It kind of feels like, I don't want to say a fresh start because this is not no phase 1. I've been in phase 1 since what? Let me check the time now. Okay, since December. Everyone's always like, oh my God, Amberlynn's in her phase 1. Like, I have heard this in almost every single video since like December. You guys, I'm staying in this phase. We're doing the damn thing. But yeah, it just feels nice to know like my real weight, and it kind of sucks because I thought I was somewhere that I wasn't, and it's fine. You know, it doesn't change the work that I've done already or anything like that. Kind of just makes me want to push harder and do better. So I'm excited for that. So welcome to the weigh-in era. I know that I do weigh-ins and then I stop them and I do them and I stop them, but I think instead of like having that like fixed schedule, I'm just going to do them randomly. So there won't be any like stopping and starting. Anyways, I'm rambling. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.